So, Mr. Paranspe has been conducting these sessions for more than 20 years. He has received various awards and recognitions, both in acupressure, Chinese medicine, and various different techniques that he uses to help people. Okay. Um, and Again, that he has a YouTube channel with more than 10,000 subscribers, and he has been teaching both in person and online, but nowadays more in person sessions from Thane, Maharashtra. So with that, Namaste, Vinayak Paranspeji, and if you want to tell more about yourself, please do that.
Hari Om.
So
I
let me
always
first do one thing. I will spotlight you, and I will
okay.
also, as you requested, I'm going to change the video setting so that
Yeah.
uh,
No, even it's okay. Whatever
it's
the way.
okay, ka? Okay, all right. Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. Okay.
Uh, just a minute.
So go ahead. I can.
Okay. Fine. Uh, Hari Om. I always begin all the sessions wherever I talk about and whatever I talk about, I begin with Hari Om. So I would request you all to speak Hari Om loudly. It's invoking the ultimate energies which we are seeking through various therapies and various modalities. Okay.
Hari Om.
Hari
Hari
Om.
Om.
Hari Om.
Yo.
Hari Om.
Hari
Secondly, one more thing which normally happens with the online meets is most of the people keep their audio muted, and that's okay. But I can't speak to the camera, so I need to have videos on. The most important thing of this is I get the expressions from your faces, and that tells me whether you are receiving what I am delivering to you. So your expressions are more to make this session more and more interactive or more and more useful to you all. So please keep your expressions on. If you like it, just let it be seen from your faces. If you don't like it, even that let it be seen from your faces. And then I'll begin. Thank you very much for keeping your videos on. And I'll begin my session. I thank ShriYoga for giving me this opportunity. It's a morning time, early morning time here in India, in Mumbai. It is almost 6 o'clock in the morning here. So I had to get up and wake up early. But anyway, when you want to impart the knowledge to anybody, the time is not the thing. It's always the those who are want to listen something, those who want to learn something, that's the more important to me. So this is the session, and I thank Sopan to giving me an opportunity and connecting me with Sabnis sir. And let's begin the session. The topic of this today's session is acupuncture, yoga. Both are the same. Both are the two sides of the same coin. So when we say this topic, and they are the two sides of the same coin, which is this coin? And this coin is the person or the human health. The coin is health, and these are the two sides of the same coin. You all are connected to each other, and you all are into yoga. So I'll start with acupuncture. When I say acupuncture, there are thousands of modalities of acupuncture, acupressure, and many things in on this earth. But when we say acupuncture, it is the Chinese method of acupuncture. And in Chinese method, you may be little aware of it, or you may be knowing also, you must have learned also. In Chinese method, the acupuncture, acupressure, what it does is by placing at certain points, putting needles at certain points, or doing something at certain points, give a relief to the patient. But this therapy or this practice of acupuncture, acupressure has originated in China 3,500 years back. So let us begin from the origin of the Chinese acupuncture, and then I'll come to the next this. It began how it began. It's always very wonderful. It's a legend. May be true, may not be true, but it's a wonderful to listen and understand how the acupuncture has evolved. It was way back in 2000, 3000 or 3500 years back. There used to be wars, and there used to be wars, and personally soldiers fighting with the swords and arrows and everything used to be there. And when a person comes back from the war, he generally get used to be wounded. Some got their limbs amputated or some marks of wounds and here and there. But there was a soldier who came back to his village, and he started telling people, his fellow in the villages, that his eyesight has improved. His eyesight has improved. And nobody was ready to believe, because going to a war and coming back, he's come back wounded, and he's saying that his eyesight has improved. So the people, when he used to talk to people about this, people used to say that it's not their eyesight has improved, your mind has gone down. You are into some other world, you don't know what you're talking about, and therefore you just keep quiet. But he never stopped talking. And the reason for this was, it was his own first-hand experience that he had an improved eyesight. He didn't know whether it was because of the war or because of what, but his experience was like he had a better eyesight. Now, when he was talking so much about his health, about his eyesight, there was a Vaidya in China, in his village. I call him as real scientist. What is science? Generally, when we talk about science in the terms of percentage. This percentage of result, this is this, and as all statistical things. But the science is when you have some idea, get it proved. You see that whether it works or not, whether it is true or not, conduct some experiments and get the result. And that Vaidya was a real scientist, I would say. He thought that because this person is telling so many times to everybody, there may be a truth, and let's try to find out the truth. So he called that person, that wounded soldier, and examined him from top to bottom. He found lot of wounds all over the body, but with his intuition, he thought that a wound which is on the outer side of the leg, seven fingers from the ankle towards the knee. It was a big wound, and he thought perhaps this wound has created something into his body, and his eyesight has improved. Now, how to test this? Whether that's the only wound that has improved his eyesight, or is there anything else? So he called lot of people from the village who had a problem with their eyesight, who had eye problems. He called them. He made them to stand in a line, mark the same point on their legs, seven fingers from the ankle on the outer side of the foot, and called an archer, the expert archer of the village, and I made him to to arrow to send arrows onto that point. And what you can imagine what must have happened 3,500 years back. There must have been a safety, and lot of things, lot of complications must have happened. But after a few months, after a few weeks time, people found that most of the people, almost 60% or something of that type, people had an improved eyesight. So he has proved that there is a link between that point and the eyesight. Now when you want to say something, when you want to talk about something, it has to be named. And so he named that point where he has put the arrow, where he has done the marking and arrow, and he called that point as Guangming. In Chinese, the word Guang means Divya Drishti, better eyesight, clear eyesight. So in Chinese acupuncture, most of the points have their names which indicate what they are going to do, and the acupuncture becomes very simple. You don't have to remember what that point is going to do. So when this happened, he became what he became. He became eyesight specialist. He became an eye specialist. Now the Vaidyas in the same village or in the nearby villages, they had they had a jealousy for this Vaidya because he was a specialist and they were not the specialists. So everybody started doing experiments with the incoming patients. So everybody started doing incoming with the patients. They started putting arrows or putting pins or pressing or whatever way they used to experiment. And this had generated a lot of specialists all over China. They were specialists all over China. So there was a specialist for at some village. There is a specialist for head. There is a specialist for stomach. There is abdominal specialist. There is a heart specialist. There is a whatever. The many as we have now so many specialists. Now, the Chinese emperor in those days, I don't remember the name and I'm not very interested in naming and keeping names. The things is, the inner core is more important. So, the Chinese emperor thought that my people should not wander all over China for their health. They must get the health, they must get the support, health support, or the medical support, or the treatment support at their own places. So he called all those Vaidyas who were doing their own work at different parts of China. He must have done, he has called them all. And then now this is my thinking. He must have put them into a fort and locked them into the fort and told them that you whatever you are talking about, whatever you are talking about, your expertise, you put everything into one science and give me. I don't want this fragmented. I want everything to be together. And what must have happened? All those Vaidyas, they are all experts, they are knowledgeable, and they must have fought with each other, saying that whatever I am saying is right. But after some time, they understood that this our emperor, this Samrat, is not going to spare us. He is either we have to work together and come out of this fort, or we'll have to die here because you know China is China. So we have to die here. So they all put their efforts together, and it was almost 100 years of research of all expertise working together. Now you can imagine 100 years is not a one generation. It was like three generations. So the three generations of Vaidya and three generations of this Samrat or three generations of this king, they have made a consistent effort in formulating the acupuncture science, and that acupuncture science is what is Chinese acupuncture nowadays. So in those days, what they have presented or they have come out is a complete science. And even after so many years, the Chinese acupuncture, there are almost 360 points all over the body, and there are hardly any new additions to the science because it was made to a perfection right in those days. So the difference between acupuncture and the modern medicine, I'll say, in the modern medicine, there is a general practitioner. When there is a general practitioner, and when he goes studies the further, he becomes specialist. Whereas in acupuncture, the whole science has evolved from experts and brought it to a general practice. So when you learn the properly, when somebody learns the acupuncture properly, he becomes expert for everything. And there are wonderful things, there are wonders in acupuncture which one can experience in everyday day-to-day life. My effort of bringing this science to the people is you can most of you are Indians, so you may be aware of one proverb that we say here. There used to be in India, there used to be the Vaidyas. They used to, when if somebody is there, there's a problem, the people will go to Vaidya. He will examine the Nadi Pariksha. He will do Nadi Pariksha and give medicines, give kada, give this, that. But we in my school days and my when I was in childhood, that was not the case always. Nobody used to run to a Vaidya immediately because there used to be a Dadi Ma ki potli at every home. So the grandmother, she used to take out something, give to the child, and it used to be all right. But the times have changed, and I feel this acupuncture science is not a science to be only learned through colleges and everything. It has to go to every home. It has to reach to every home, because the sooner you start working, better your results get. Okay, so that is about the Chinese acupuncture. And later on, when this continued for thousands of years. And when President Nixon visited China in those days, somewhere in early 70s, in at that time he had some health problems, and the Chinese fellows, Chinese people, they cured him by just putting some pressure here and there, and that was a shock to the Western world. And with him, this next President Nixon's when he went back to US, this Chinese acupuncture science came to the US, and then it spread all over the world. So its last 30, 50 years, it's into the force. So this is all about Chinese acupuncture. But the most important thing when we are living into this today's world of medicine, today's world, how does it really work? That is the biggest question. Just by pressing here, just by pressing there, putting a needle here and putting a needle there, does it really help? Or it's a placebo? Many people say that it's a placebo. If somebody is working for me, somebody is doing something for me, I have a gratitude for him, and then I say, yeah, yeah, I'm feeling better. Perhaps he may be feeling better or not, but that's not the case. This is a true science which anybody and everybody can experience. Now let's go to the core of this science. How does it work? If we ask a question to any schoolboy about how the body functions, who makes the body organs to function, which organ of the body or which part of the body or what is that makes the body to function in a coordinated way, and the answer always comes is the brain. Answer always comes is the brain. So the brain is the master controller. Brain gives sub commands to the various organs of the body, and he gets a feedback, and the whole cycle continues. Okay, so brain is master and all the organs are like slaves. Okay, but now you visualize a situation. There is a if somebody going passing on the road, suddenly he had a severe chest pain, he had an attack, he fell down, and he expired. Now the question comes, that person has gone dead. Now the question comes, he has brain into his body, he has all organs into his body, and if brain is there and brain is controlling the whole body, why the body has is not responding? Why the body has gone still? And the reason, what has gone? Something has gone out of the body, and we call that as Atma, Pran, Jeev. In Marathi, we say Jeev Gela, Atma Chali Gayi, Atma Nikal Gayi. Whatever we call, the names may be anything all over the world, but it means that the inner energy, the soul energy, is the controller of the body. Brain is not the controller. Even the brain is driven by that inner energy, and that inner energy is really the controller or the master of the body. And we say that when somebody is admitted to the hospital, when somebody is admitted to the hospital and that person is in coma, he doesn't know anything, and doctors are saying that Satish is not well, he is not responding, Satish is responding, and something blah blah blah. And when doctor declare that he is no more, our words change. What we say, now we have to lift the body, we have to take the body. The name Satish has gone, and what remained is only the body. So that means the identity we have, the identity every person has, is only because of the prana shakti, the soul energy, the Atma that is present in the body. So far as that Prana Shakti is working inside, everything is going fine. Okay, so when this whole thing is working like this, now this Prana Shakti of the body or the soul energy of the body, now this has to reach to every organ of the body. When it reaches to every organ of the body, it gives commands, it gives signal to every organ, and the organ starts functioning better and in a very good way. I always give example of somebody say it's a boss or a businessman who has 10 shops in Mumbai. He cannot be there present at every shop all the time. So what he does, he appoints the people to work there. There are salesmen, there are cashiers, there are many people working, and this businessman goes to every shop every day. He visits every place, give instruction to the people, take the feedback from them, and this keeps on going. So the business is running. But suppose for some reason, if this businessman cannot go to a shop or cannot go to any of his establishment, then the business starts coming down. And the reason business starts coming down, and when the businessman sees that yes, my business is going down, there has to be an increase. How to increase business? He calls some MBA, and the MBA gives him the idea. Yes, you start sale, ek or ek free, buy one get one free, buy one get one free, or something of this type. When that sale is declared, the people come for it, but when that sale is off, again the business goes down. Then it comes to advertisement. Make advertisement. Send pamphlets, send brochures to the people, blah, and put advertisement everywhere. But advertisement, even the people are coming, the customers are coming, but they are not buying. Why they are not buying? Is because the salesman, the persons into the shop, they are not working to their best. They have gone relaxed only because the Malik is not coming, the boss is not coming, and now what has to be done? It's not going to work. All these things like sale or the advertisement are the external things. There has to be internally. What has changed is the paper. Now you ladies, particular ladies, or even our we gents also, if we go to a shop and if I tell the salesman I want to buy a shirt, if he says, ah, yes, sir, have a look at this. There are so many shirts. You select whatever you want. I won't buy anything from there. I want him to take out the shirt, show it to me, show me few pieces. I'll feel it, and then I'll buy. So what happens is their attitude has changed, and how this attitude can be corrected if and only if the businessman, the Malik goes to the shop, Malik goes to the establishment. So when he lands there, everybody will be on the toe and start working. So same thing happens in acupuncture. Exactly the same thing happens in acupuncture. Thus, the prana shakti or the soul energy moves throughout the body. These body organs are like the establishments, or they are like the shops. So this prana shakti goes to different places and gives instructions. Now this prana shakti, this soul energy can't go as it is. It has to go on some way. There has to be a way. So when it consider that is traveling through a road, and if the road is blocked, what happens? There is a traffic jam. And when there is a traffic jam, you can see in a traffic jam, everybody starts blowing horns. At least in India, it's not there in USA, but in India it happens. Everybody starts blowing the horns because he doesn't know what has happened ahead. It's because the traffic jam, the road is blocked. Now, what has to be done for this businessman or this shopkeeper, shop owner to go to a place that traffic has to be cleared? And what police do? The police get a towing van and take away whatever has happened and make the road clear, and then the traffic flows. So in acupuncture, wherever there is a pain, wherever there is a problem, it only indicates that the soul energy is obstructed. It's giving a blowing horn, ta ta ta, Arey, my leg is paining, my knees are paining, there is a blockage of energy and the energy is not flowing. So this our pranic shakti or the inner energy moves through different paths, and they are in Chinese acupuncture, they are called as meridians. Meridians are like the roads or the traffic or the roads of this. So you are traveling in is traveling, and the points in onto those meridians where we are giving the treatment, they are like the policemen at the corners. If the policeman is there, standing there, nobody will dare to overrule, to jump the signal. But now with giving pressure to certain points, putting needles to certain points, you are activating those policemen and making them to work. And when they work, the energy flows and everything becomes okay. So that is the thing which is there working inside acupuncture. Now, when we come to this, I would like to tell you a few points which are most important and they give wonderful results. And one of those points which uh, Sopan had just said, he had an experience of it. So those points have no match on this earth in any science, I'll bet. I will bet on that. And the first and the most important point, you have to use it. If you use this point for somebody, you will be recognized as a magician. You will be recognized by people as a great doctor. And that point is between the nose and the upper lip. Between the nose and the upper lip, the vertical line between the nose and the upper lip. And this point, when you press it, it's said that this point need to be pressed strong stimulation. Now, what is mean by strong stimulation? The strong stimulation means you have to use something hard to press. So it can be your nail, the nail of your finger, huh? Or it can be a ball pen, ball point of the pen, or it can be a hair clip, it can be a safety pin, or it can be whatever you get to it. It can be even a toothpick. Give a strong stimulation for 2 minutes, and the unconscious patient, the unconscious person will revive back in 2 to 3 minutes, and that's my guarantee. I've experienced this so many times, giving and pressure at this point. I'll tell you one thing, this is very important because doctors, though doctors are available everywhere, they don't come with all their equipments. I'd been to a marriage ceremony for my friend's daughter, and in the front row there was a senior person, maybe around 70 or 75, sitting in the front row, and there was home havan going on, so with lot of smoke and everything. He fainted. He suddenly collapsed and came down. There was a there was a chaos in the marriage hall because somebody fainting, somebody going to that stage, and people gathered there. Everybody was calling for doctor, doctor, doctor. Who is there? Any doctor? Any doctor? And my wife called me on my mobile. I was there at the other side of the party hall, and she called me. I went inside. I went there. Now, when such thing happens, when somebody faints, somebody goes unconscious, what happens? Everybody comes around, and nobody is doing anything. Everybody tells to somebody else that you do this. You are chappal lao, are kanda lao, are pyaz lao, are ye lao, are wo lao. Nobody does anything. So I just came through. I somehow I found the way into it, and I went to him. He was lying, and I took out my ball pen and pressed this point. I kept on pressing strongly, almost for a 2 minutes or 3 minutes, may not be even 2 minutes also. He revived back, and his first question was, why you all are gathered here? अरे भाई साहब, आपके लिए तो सब हम लोग जमा हो गए यहाँ पे, और आप ही पूछ रहे हैं कि क्यों गैदर हो गए. So he was as good as nothing has happened to him. In the meanwhile, there was an announcement that if there is any doctor, please come forward, please come to the stage and something. A lady doctor, maybe 35, 40 years of age, and she came and she was shocked to see that there is no patient. And then she started grumbling, I don't have blood pressure kit, I don't have this, I don't have that. Are what's the use of you being doctor? Because doctors don't carry their visit bag, the treatment bag along with them. You have to work yourself. It's our duty to give relief to somebody. And that's why the acupressure, the person who has learned acupuncture in a right way can be a great help to the society. And I have revived almost more than 40 persons from this trauma. Now you can imagine, at least here in India, it happens. If somebody goes unconscious, what is the next step? What is the next step? Call an ambulance, take him to the hospital, and he will be admitted to ICU. So there is an expense of at least 50,000 rupees. There is an expense of at least 50,000 rupees. If you do this to somebody, you are saving 50,000 rupees for him, and moreover, you are avoiding him from taking any medicines later. That's the greatness of Chinese acupuncture. And the point, this point which works, the name of this point in English is the point of reanimation. This is called as point of reanimation. The man has gone, so somebody has gone unconscious, he has fainted, so the animation has stopped. When you press this point for a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, he becomes, his animations begins again. So the point of reanimation, and it has worked for many, many patients, many people, many of my students and many my patients, when they want to go for a hike, when they want to go for a Manas Sarovar Yatra or Himachal Pradesh or wherever they want to go, they come and ask me, Doctor Sahab, please give me some advice how to maintain the health when we are on the tour. I always tell them few other points, but I tell them this point. And I always say this point may not be required for you, but when you are going in a group, if somebody faints on the tour or in the tour, then the whole thing is spoiled. So when if it happens, you do this and you will get a relief. And always they come back and give me a feedback. Sir, आपने जैसे बोला था वैसे ही हो गया. Same thing happened. I just pressed it in a 2 minutes. That lady just walk up, and just started walking along with us, and like nothing has happened. So do remember, and be brave to use this point whenever it's required. This will give you name and fame. This will give you name and fame. It has given me a name and fame, and more than 40 persons have recovered from this. So this is one point. Can you? Okay. This point, yeah. This point is between the nose, between nose and upper lip. If you draw a vertical line between nose and upper lip, the point lies at the center. So what you have to do is use your small finger, the nail of the small finger, and put it vertical. So when you put it, press it vertically, it will give a stimulation, strong stimulation. Huh? And you can use ball pen, you can use safety pin, you can use hairpin, you can use the whatever you have at that time. Any stick, any small matchstick will also even do. But this is a wonderful point. Only thing you have to remember that in acupuncture, don't feel that if I don't know something, what will go wrong? Nothing is going to be wrong, because what you are doing, you are not going giving any medicine. What you are doing is you are activating the chi energy. It's called a chi in, I mean, Chinese. It's called a chi. You are activating. So the chi or the atma, the prana shakti knows what is required. So it's not going to damage anything. It's not going to do anything. At the most, what will happen? It will remain as it is. The patient will not get effect. There may not be effect, but it happens very rarely. Huh? Okay, so do remember this point and be bold to use it. People always feel, Array, I don't know anything. I just only once or whatever. So let's go to the second point. And this second point is unmatched on this universe, unmatched on this earth. I'll tell you a story about this. I used to do kirtan, lot of kirtan. I've performed more than 50 kirtans on the stage with various songs which I have written, my own songs in different parts, and I used to call this as Swasthya Kirtan. And all those kirtans, I always taught the people these 2 points. So this one of this point and the another point, and that point lies on the uh, uh, foot, the small finger outside nail corner of the small finger. The nail outside nail corner of the small finger. That point is there. I can show you this on my hand. This is the corner. Can you see? This is the corner. Or I hope you're clear. Okay. Now this point has an indication. This point has an indication malposition of fetus. When this point is to be used is malposition of the fetus. Now you know that when the child is in the process of taking birth, the head has to be down. The head has to be down, and if that position is not there, for some reason, the doctors have to take a cesarean cut. The doctors have to go for cesarean. This point, if you use at a proper time, can save somebody from cesarean. Can save somebody from cesarean. Huh? I'll tell you a story about this. I've been always teaching this point to in every lecture, knowing that somebody will use it and give me a feedback, because I am a very strong believer of Chinese acupuncture. I have result of many results for many things, and this I had never used, but I used to tell. There was a call from one lady which I didn't have a number saved, and she said, "Doctor, I want to come and meet you." I said, "What's the button that I'll come when I'll come and I'll tell you that time." She came to my clinic and came with a box of mithai of peda, 1 kilo of peda, and she gave me peda. Well, I don't know you. I never remember we have met any time. Then she said, "I'll tell you the story." She had attended one of my lectures in Thane, and I taught this point. She learned some acupressure from me and started practicing at home only for the family and for people. Then her daughter was in Australia, and she was to be delivered. She was on the verge of delivery, and this mother had to go to Australia. When she went there, the doctor told that now she is not getting the labor pains, and we can wait only for 2 hours. If within 2 hours the labor pains don't come, we'll have to go for surgery. Now, any mother, you can imagine, any mother can how what feeling she must have had. But this is a mother who has learned acupuncture, who has who has experienced the wonders in acupuncture. She went to the labor room and asked the sisters there that, "Can I do something?" The sisters said, "Yes, you can do whatever you want, but not to give anything orally." Chinese people here, they come, they do something, we don't object them, but when the time comes, we start our work, you can't stop us. She said, "Okay, I don't mind. I have 2 hours." And she stood at the legs of her daughter and kept pressing both the sides, both the points on both the legs continuously for 1.5 hours, continuously for 1.5 hours, and within, after that, I means at the end of the 1.5 hours, the girl had labor pain and her delivery was normal, and she has brought those pedas for this reason, because that has saved a cesarean. And then when I got this feedback from her, I started telling this point to many people, many ladies, and that gives a wonderful result. That has always given a wonderful result. One of my patients, who her daughter had a similar problem. There was a problem that it was what we call, I don't remember the English words, that nard around the neck. That was one thing, and the position was not proper. So doctor said that we'll have to wait. If see, let us see what happens. But she asked me what to do, and I told her to do the same thing, but when it's to be done. Now you can understand, you can think about what this point is doing. When this is, we are pressing this point, what this point is doing, how the position of the fetus will change. How the position of the fetus will change? It will only change if the uterine muscles contract and relax. The muscles will start making changes and make the position right. Okay, that means this point work directly on the muscles of the uterus. So this point is never to be used in early pregnancy. This has to be used only and only after 8 months of time, when it is safe to be delivered. Because if it is done early, something may go wrong, and we don't want to have any mishaps through us. So you try to use this point. Now, why this happens? This has no match on this universe. This has no, and why this happens? Because the baby in the womb, the baby in the womb has chi or the prana shakti, and you are activating that prana shakti, and the baby in the womb is ready to jump out into this world, and you are helping it. It's only the game of prana shakti. Okay. Now let's connect ourselves to yoga. How this is connected to yoga? I must be wondering. This is, I'm talking about acupuncture, and how this is connected. First of all, remember, in acupuncture, anything that stimulates the inner energy is good enough. It's not that you have to put always the needles. Is the pressing is good, scratching is good, thumping is good, giving blow, everything is good. So it's not that you have to put the needles always. Even I tell to my students, you put a blow, you फूक मारो तो भी लोग ठीक हो जाएंगे, because the energy inside that gets activated. Okay, now let's connect this acupuncture to yoga. Now, in acupuncture, I said that there are 14 meridians through which this energy passes. And this energy, their meridians are like highways, and this energy passes through 14 meridians and to every part of the body. Yoga says, our Indian yoga says, in the body, prana shakti moves through 72,000 nadis, 72,000 nadis. There are 72,000 nadis through which this prana shakti moves into the body. Now, these 14 meridians are in the body, 72,000 are also in the body. How you have to think about it? Either you have to say that somebody is true and somebody is false, but it's not, both are true. I'll give you an example how to understand this. When few years back, about 10 years back or 15 years back, when there were no smartphones, when we used to go for a tour, for a travel, I used to take out my car, and we don't know the places where we are going. So I used to do is take a book of maps, and with the map book, we used to travel, tracking the wherever we are. But now the time had changed. So when I used to use the book, I used to get the landmark villages or landmark places on the way, and that were shown in this. Now the times have changed, and Google has changed our life. Google has changed our life, and the Google Maps have made traveling very simple. Now, when you open a Google Map, what do you find? When you open a Google Map, you find the main road and you find the small roads around. You find small roads around. So our yogic system, when it says that it's a 72,000 nadis, it means it's like a Google map. And when we say that acupuncture has 14 meridians, it's like a map, a book of maps. It's like a book of maps. Book of maps has its own limitation, but it doesn't mean that the other things are not there. So this whole body is interlinked with the roads, the maps, the nadis, and the prana shakti travels through all these nadis. Okay, so acupuncture and yoga, they are on the same line. They're talking on the same line. Now, what what we are doing when you put needles, when you put pressure, when you apply pressure, what we are doing is we are activating the prana shakti, the chi energy, and making it to circulate into the body. What happens in yoga? In yoga, okay, when we talk about yoga, the actually yoga is a Patanjali yoga, Ashtanga yoga. But in Ashtanga yoga, you all are for years together, you must be practicing yoga. In Ashtanga yoga is the Yama Niyam, Asana, and Pranayam. Yama Niyam, Asana, Pranayam. They are first four steps, and then Dhyan, Dharana, and other Samadhi and Samadhi. Ultimately, Samadhi. So when we are talking about in general, in a normal common man's way, when we are talking about yoga, we are talking only about asanas. We are not talking about Ashtanga yoga. Ashtanga yoga is a complete system which Patanjali has designed it. I call this Ashtanga yoga, Patanjali's Ashtanga yoga, as a manual to samadhi. It's like a manual. It's a step-by-step instructions given for reaching up to samadhi. Of course, everybody has to, it takes its own way or its own way of learning and going ahead, but it's a manual, it's a manual for samadhi. So when we are talking about asanas, in actual Ashtanga Yoga, there is no mention about various asanas what we are doing. There is no mention. There is only one word or one sentence or one sloka about asanas is Sthira Sukha Asanam. Sthira Sukha Asanam. It never says do you this Mayurasana, you do this asana, that asana, nothing. But all these things have come from Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga is a branch, you can say, which is meant for physical fitness. Because if you want to go into samadhi, if you want to sit for a dhyan, if you want to go ahead, your body has to be fit. If you have a pain in the back, you can't sit for a long. You can't do a meditation. You can't focus yourself. You can't do dhyan. So the primary step is to making your body fit, and these asanas are meant for that. Okay, so the asanas is, and what these asanas do, what our asanas do, yogasanas, whatever yogasanas, what they do, or what we do. When we do asanas, we are taking different body postures. We are taking different body postures, holding them for a few breaths, depending upon the person's capacity, and then taking the new posture again, the repeating it. So by doing various postures, you are activating the inner chi energy. Inner body energy is activated because of these pictures. Now, those who are into yoga and they're doing it professionally. So, if somebody goes to a person for consultation that I am having cervical spondylosis, please give me some relief. Please tell me which asana I should do. The real professional of yoga will never tell only one asana. he will always tell his body to move from top to bottom, because the chi energy of the body has to move throughout the body. So that is, and that's what exactly done by acupuncture. In acupressure, by pressing certain points, you are activating the chi energy, and by doing yogasana, you are doing the same thing, but you are doing it yourself. Now the whole difference between, they are the same. They are the, that's why I say they are the two sides of the same coin. They are activating the chi, and that's why we know that when it comes to over a period of time, when person keeps doing yogasanas regularly, his most of the problems vanish. And it's not, it's because of the chi energy, the prana shakti is moving throughout the body regularly by his practice. Now the thing is, this acupuncture and yoga both are on the same platform, but there is a difference. The difference is, you have, if somebody wants to get well, somebody says somebody has a lumbar spondylosis or something, then he has to do asanas by himself. He has to do asanas by himself. If I do some asanas for him, is not going to be benefited. It can be entertainment, but not the real benefit. And it's because that's the difference between acupuncture and yoga. With acupuncture, you can activate the chi energy for somebody else. You can do the same thing for yourself also in acupuncture, but in yoga, you have to do it yourself. So when I say, when I give lectures to the yoga people, or you, those who are conducting yoga classes and all, I always tell them acupuncture and yoga are not alternative to the each other. Either this or this, they are complementary to each other. Acupuncture is like, somebody has a knee problem, he can't fold the knee. Somebody has a lower back problem, he can't bend. So with acupuncture, make his movements free, make his movements free, and then put him into yoga. So first start with acupuncture, make his movement free, and put him into acupuncture, and put him into yoga, and keep him, ask him to continue yoga throughout the life. So acupuncture is followed by yoga will be the best strategy for maintaining health. But if somebody doesn't have any problem, you don't have to worry about it. You can do yoga, also has the equal power, but that is the only thing when you are doing this. So this is the difference or the synergy between yoga and acupuncture. To the I conduct these classes of this acupuncture, my acupuncture. Uh, it's only 10 days course, only 10 days, and my 20 years of experience, 2 hours each, 10 days. My 20 years of experience, I deliver in 20 hours. That's the my way of making it simple. I make it simple, and I see that my every student start using it right from day one, because it's not something very different. It's within your body. Now you know, when you have a headache, you don't press your leg. When you have headache, you're pressing your head. So what you are doing by pressing your head, you are the releasing the obstructed energy, the obstructed chi from your body. So the simple way to use acupressure is, wherever there is a pain, press it. Wherever there is a pain, press it. So if you have a pain in the shoulder, press the shoulders. You have a pain in the back, press the back. If you have a pain in the knee, press the knee. If you have a pain in the throat, press throat. What will happen? If you press the throat, that person will get out of the pain for lifetime. But this indicate, now your, the smiles on your face tell me that you have understood the difference. This is the most important thing in acupuncture, use of common sense. How much pressure at which point is the most important. It is not give 10 kg pressure to everybody. It's not that. It's not a medicine. It's not something you have to mold it with the patient's requirement or with the patient's requirement. So when I'll tell you one story, I remember one of my students, she's an old lady, was maybe around 70, 75. Her daughter had a problem in the delivery. She had a very high blood pressure and diabetes and everything. And her delivery had to be, doctor had to take a cesarean cut. And the baby was delivered in seventh month of pregnancy, and that was very dangerous. So the baby was put into the incubator. It was there in the incubator for almost 2 months. And when it came back, everything was all right. That lady came to me asking, my grandson has come home, but the problem is doctors have said that his eyes are not developed properly. We don't know whether he can see or not. We don't know. The whole body has developed properly, but the eyes are lagging behind. They are not developed, so we don't know what to do. Now, for me or for my patients or for my students, acupuncture is a wonder tool. So she came running to me, doctor, sir, what we can do for my grandson. I asked her to put seeds because it's a 2 months old boy. It's a 2 months old boy. You can't use needles, you can't press, you can't do anything to it. I asked her to put the rye seeds, the mustard seeds at a certain few points on the leg and asked her to continue this for 3 months. After 3 or 4 months, the boy has developed his eyes back to normal. And now the boy is 5 years old. He has no issue with his eyes. And this has happened only because the chi has worked inside. The energy has worked inside. But if it had been a late after a few years, it would not have worked. So knowing acupressure, acupuncture, and having it handy at our home is the best way. And so I always call this acupuncture, acupressure is not only as a therapy, it's a first aid treatment. And first aid is not emergency. First aid is the first thing to do, which is there into your hands. बाहर तो हम लोग बहुत ढूंढने जाएंगे, but you have to do something on your own. And if somebody learns it in a better way, proper way, but at least these 2 points today, what I have shown you or told you, I can always I can share my group's link if you want. My number is there. You can see my number here. So you put me on WhatsApp. I'll send you my group's link. So whatever I'm doing, whatever lectures I'm giving, or whatever courses I conduct, you will start getting the updates of that. So I stop here. Now it's exactly 1 hour after we have started. You have any questions, please?
So please join me in just clapping hands, everyone. This is just wonderful presentation. This really appreciate and this just amazing presentation. Thank you very much, sir, and also Sopan for introducing us to Mr. Paranspe. Thank you very much. And go ahead, if you have any questions, please, go ahead and ask questions.
Yeah. Whatever. Ask whatever question. Whatever comes to your mind, I'll answer.
Thank you very much. You answered my question showing that.
Yeah.
आणखीन दुसरं आम्ही पण मानस सरोवर कैलासला जातोय, so that point पुढचा तो that will be helpful.
Yes, yes.
तुम्हाला येणार प्रश्न आम्ही करू.
Yes, yes, sure. Thank you.
But thank you very much. Best
माझा स्पेसिफिक प्रॉब्लेम म्हणजे माझा शोल्डर, आय हॅव गॉट आर्थरायटिस. याच्या पलीकडे माझा शोल्डर मूव्ह होत नाही.
Then you'll have to come to Thana.
आता इंडियाची
यंदा येणार केव्हा तरी जरूर.
Because shoulder, I have experience with the shoulders. Many people with the shoulder problem or the frozen shoulder, they get a wonderful result in a single sitting also. Because it is your chi that works. I'm not doing anything. I always say I'm not doing anything for anybody. It is your chi is working, and you must have known a cinema, Singham.
Yeah.
In Singham, there is a dialogue of Ajay Devgan. Ata maji satakli. So whenever this key the chi says that Ata maji satakli, that chi can do anything for anybody.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah.
Only thing. So whatever I'm doing, I'm not doing anything for anybody. It's not me. It's the your chi that works. If it has to heal you, it
Yeah.
has to help you, it will help. If she decides I'm not going to work anymore, I'm going to be stagnant, nobody on this earth can make it all right. Okay, and there are thousands of reasons why this she says no for doing something. Perhaps there are many. Is what we are talking about is the physical thing. What we are talking about the physical thing, but there are many aspects of our life, many aspects of our personalities which are linked to different levels, like mental or the what we can call it as very various other levels. So if the problem is at some other level, you can't
Yeah.
expect everything to be done with acupuncture.
Correct.
So for mental patterns, the problems in the mental conditioning or thinking patterns, the wonderful tool I have is Dr. Bach Flower Remedies. Dr. Bach Flower Remedies is a wonder tool, and that has changed the lives of people.
Mm.
That's very simple. It's only taking medicine. It's very close to homeopathy. And my course is from today only. My that Friday's course is going to begin, and a classroom course will be starting. So there are many things. Uh, I'll tell you one story. This today's world is a world. Once upon a time, there used to be a diagnosis by looking at the pulse, taking the pulse, or the looking at the conditions, what patient is telling. But now the whole diagnosis has shifted to reports. The whole diagnosis is shifted to reports. And ultimately, what happens many a times, nothing comes out of it. Just reports, and nothing comes out of it. I'll tell you a story. It's a story made by me only. I was passing in Thane in an area where there used to be all well-educated people and all. And when I was going through one square on the road, I saw a boy of 9, 10 years old boy searching something in the on the road. In that kachra, he was trying to find out something from the kachra. When I looked at him, I looked at his the face. I could see that he is very much worried, and so I asked him, "अरे बेटा क्या हो गया तुमको? ये क्या कर रहे हो? What you are doing?" So he said, "Uncle, I lost my ring. I lost my ring. It was a gold ring, and when I go home, I am going to get a beating very heavily because that was a gold ring." So I started searching with him. When I started searching on the road, my people they know me, they also started searching, and we 10 people searched the whole road. Nothing was found there. We scratched, we searched the each and every corner. There was no place that so that the ring will go down into the gutter or somewhere. Nothing was seen. And then I thought whether this boy is fooling us, making some TikTok video and circulating.
Yeah.
I thought so. So and then uh, when so I asked him whether you have really lost your ring or you are just fooling us. No, uncle, I really lost my ring. Now he's saying he has lost, and I could see from his face, but we are not finding. And now the question is where he has lost it, whether he has lost it here or whether he has lost it in the school or where he has lost it. So I asked him whether have you lost your ring here only. He said, no. Then why you are searching here? So where you lost your ring? I lost the ring in the side road, which was a small one inside. बाजू की गली में घूम गई. तो बोले if you have lost it in the बाजू की गली, why you are searching here? Why you are searching here? You're full of what? So क्या करूं uncle? What I can do? There is so darkness there. There is no light. Here is a light, and I'm searching. That is the condition nowadays in medical science. They are looking at what is seen in the reports. They are not going beyond the reports. So when a patient comes to me, or when I give a consultation today, I try to find कौन सी गली में तुम्हारी अंगूठी खो गई. कौन सी गली में तुम्हारी अंगूठी खो गई, which corner or where you are lost. Unless you find it there, you can't get the result. So that's the way the whole thing is about. I
Yeah.
put it together. Thank you very much.
So-
You have any questions, please?
एक तुमचं ट्रेनिंग इंडियात तुम्ही देता का झूम वरती पण देता?
झूम वरती पण आपण करू शकतो, काही लोक असतील तर.
Okay.
Actually, I don't like Zoom. I don't like Zoom in the sense I like online, but like as you few people are there online and with your smiling faces and getting a lot of energy to talk about. If that is the case, we can hold it online also. But I really love to be in presence. Face to face is a
Yeah.
wonderful thing because that gives energy. Moreover, I'm working, my clinic is a small clinic and it's there for last 25, 30 years. So it has its own energy. So
Yeah.
teaching there has a different experience, but if there are some few for 4, 5 or some people there who are ready to learn acupuncture or acupressure or whatever, we can always organize. I'm ready, open, because my motto is all these therapies which are simple according to me, they should reach to every person,
Yeah.
every home, and they must understand the potentials, the possibilities, what can be given, what can be done best of it. Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah,
you very much. I have one question, and again, I will reach out to you later on. But do you have any treatments for autistic kids?
Yeah, for autistic kids, flower remedies work better.
Okay, okay,
Dr.
okay,
Bach flower remedies, they are the medicines to be taken internally.
okay.
Yeah.
Can you recommend any good book on this topic?
Which Bobby?
Acupressure वरती काही पुस्तक तुम्ही काही रिकमेंड करू शकाल
Acupressure
का?
वरती काय है ना, acupressure वरती ये जो भी बुक्स है ना, वो ऐसे सब सिखाते नहीं है. जो मैंने आपको सिखाया ना, ऐसे कोई नहीं सिखाता. All those books they are just giving points, this point, this point, this point, this point, and you have to ratta lagana hai, you have to by heart everything and put it. I make you to understand. So there are books, but listening to me is a easier way to learn, and the recordings are always there, so you can always refer back and there is in fact I have read only 2 books on acupuncture. In last 20 years, I have attended one course from Dr. Loya 20 years back in 2000 or 25 years back, and then I did not go to anybody for learning. It is a God's gift. He has percolated all this knowledge to me. I created the questions in my mind and I searched the answers myself. So I know what everything is, and I try to make everything very simple as anybody with a common sense can do it. Even I taught a student or a person who was a helper for carpenter. He was only fifth standard pass, not knowing English, nothing. And he came to me and asked me, sir, will you teach me acupuncture? I said, yes, I'm ready to teach. No, but I went to many people and they said, no, you have to be science graduate, you have to be at least 12th standard science, and you must know English and this, that. I don't know. I don't require anything. I want that you must have a desire to use it. One, and you must have the inclination to learn and use it later. All this science, all this knowledge is useless unless you put it into practice. Learning all 360 points is not going to help, because unless you practice, you don't know how to use it. So it's like Marathi में there is a thing, वाहता गळा आणि शिंपता मळा. जैसे तो वाहता गळा आणि शिंपता मळा, तो हाथ चालू रहेंगे तो हाथ रहता है. आप सब लोगों को पता रहेगा कि चपाती बेलते हैं तो हाथ चालू रहेगा तो अच्छी होती है, 2 महीना छूट गया तो फिर कुछ नहीं, फिर गड़बड़ हो जाती है. सब तो वैसे ही है ना. तो ये सब चालू रहना चाहिए, एंड यू मस्ट, एंड इट्स नॉट, इसके लिए ऑलवेज इज नॉट एट ऑल रिक्वायर्ड दैट यू हैव टू ओपन अ क्लिनिक. It's not at all required, because I always say that every person has a patient hidden inside. Every person has a patient hidden inside, and when that patient comes to know that there is a doctor hidden into you, it jumps out and starts sharing the problems. Now this uncle at short told me about his frozen shoulder. Everybody has some problem or other. So when you learn this, there is a patient just in front of you. You start using it, start treating it, and I'm sure you will get a wonderful result. Okay. Anybody else? Anything?
Thank you very much. And I'm going to have the YouTube recording, and I'll share the raw recording with you so that you can put it also on YouTube. And also, all the information about your website will include it in an email. Will include it along with the recording.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Really
I'll send
appreciate
you
it.
my Sabni sir. I'll send
Thank
you
you.
my YouTube link so that you can share. Okay, one more thing about me. Because I'm a person who work in different fields and different directions. I've written many books, but they are not for sale on the counter. They are not for sale on the bookstores. They are with me only, and I've written many books, and all the books work is done by me alone. Right from DTP to final printing, everything is me. I work alone. I work for everything. One more thing, which is a totally different now, is I have translated 23 Sanskrit stotras into Marathi. 23 Sanskrit stotras into Marathi, and they are in my own voice. They are on the YouTube, and it's a. I'll send you the link also to Sabnis sir, so he can share you that link. And there is a Ganpati Atharva Shishya, Rudra Path, Annapurna Stotra, Shri Sukta, Aditya Hridaya Stotra, and Durga Saptashati, few chapters of Durga Saptashati, and many. I don't remember all the names also. So I'm coming out with something, always something new. I
Good.
don't like to get static into one thing. So we'll keep on sharing with you, and let us meet again. I have different topics. I think we can keep meeting once in a month also.
Definitely.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. Thank you.
Namaskar, namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Kaka.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sopan.
Shri.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you,
very much.
Sopan Sai. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I always end my session with Hari Om. Say Hari Om.
Hari
Hari
Om.
Hari
Om.
Om.
That's great.
Thank you.
Hari Om is Idam Namama. Whatever I said, I have not said. Whatever you have listened, you have not listened. He has said through
Yeah.
me, and he has listened through you. That's all. So we are just the media. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful, very a wonderful pleasure to listen to you. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm going to end.
Very few lectures I have given in English. One of the maybe a couple of lectures. I don't because in India, well, everybody knows Hindi, so there's no point in talking English. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we are from USA, and Sopan insisted me on this. I said, I'm not going to talk. He's going to talk through me. So it's his responsibility that I convey best to you, or he conveys best to you. So, chalo, Hari Om.
Hari
Let's
Om.
close
Thank
the
you.
meeting.
Thank
Hoping to
Thank
meet
you.
Okay.
in